Have you heard about this story coming out of Miami, Florida? About this girl who went to this club called Vendom and wasn't allowed in because of the color of her skin in Miami, Florida. Check out this story.
Disclaimer, I'm not from Florida. I do not live in Florida. But my cousin and some of her friends that we had went to Vendom with are from Florida. And they never experienced any type of problems when they have went to Vendom. So that's why we went there in the first place. So we go to Vendom and we get on the line because we know, my cousin knew a promoter and he wanted to get us in. He got us inside. So as we're like in the line and handing our IDs over, they let my cousin and her friends in. But like once it was my turn to give my ID, they didn't even look at my ID. They were just like, stop, give me 1 second, and just move to the right for me. And I'm like, okay, why? Like they didn't even look at my ID yet. They were just like, oh, can you step to the side for me for a second? I'm like, okay. So they're like looking back at me and they're like confused and they're like, what's the problem? And they're pointing towards me and the promoter's like kind of telling them like, you need to get inside, like just move inside and then I'll go get her. Because they were like telling my friends and my cousins like, oh, like if you don't go in and sit down, you can't come back in because Summer Walker was performing that night. And I guess they were like being a little hard on entry and re-entry and whatever the case may be. So they were just like, you need to like just sit down and I'm gonna go back outside and get her and I'm gonna figure out what the problem is. So they're like, okay. And he's kind of being like a little harsh, like, oh, you need to sit down. Like, you're not coming back in. If you do not sit down, I will go get her. I'm going to handle it. So they're just like, okay. So he doesn't come outside to get me. So I'm just standing there for like good 5 minutes, whatever, like looking around, looking for the guy. I do not see him. And my cousins are on the phone, calling me. My cousin and my friends are on the phone calling me like, where are you? Like, is he outside? Because we don't see him in here. And he said he's coming to get you. And I'm like, no, he's not. So they get frustrated. I'm frustrated. So they're just like, we're leaving. Never mind. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's fine. So as they're leaving, they're asking people, like some of the workers inside and like in the little area, like where they're checking for the IDs and stuff, like what was the problem? And they literally, well, honestly, a lot of people were just trying to like ignore the question and just be like, keep walking out. Like if you're leaving, leave, you know what I'm saying? And they're trying to ask people like, what's the problem though? Like, why is nobody saying nothing? Because they're not telling me nothing either on that little line that I was on. Like, they were just kind of like, I'm like asking them like, okay, so like, is anybody gonna tell me why y'all pull me to the side? And everybody's just looking at me like I'm boo boo the fool, and they're just like either ignoring me or they're just not answering the question. So I'm getting mad too. So eventually, one person that my cousin asked, like, what the problem was, finally told her that the reason why I couldn't get inside was because I was too dark and that they want a certain type of people in the club today and that the owner was being very strict about who they let in and who they don't let in. So you have to meet that certain standard to get inside.
What?
And it's crazy because I noticed that I wasn't the only one that got like rejected to go inside. Like they also weren't letting anybody of like a certain body type inside. Like they only wanted people that looked like, I guess, on the skinnier side, the more slim side, or like if you had that like Coca-Cola shape vibe going on, they let you in. But if you were just the slightest bit of not on that standard that they wanted inside, you were not getting inside. They were just sending all those people that didn't meet that standard to the right, but they weren't saying anything. They were trying to make it seem kind of like, oh, we're going to let this side get an entry in a second. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were making it seem like you was about to get inside. Like, there was just a little hold up, but they weren't actually letting you inside, and they weren't telling us what the problem was either. So, yeah, we left after that, obviously, because why would I want to get back inside, or why would I even want the promoter to try and get me back inside when you already was ducking me and saying that I couldn't go inside in the first place? Why would I want to go inside there?
All right, so now that we watched the whole story all together, right? I want y'all to let me know in the comment sections if you've ever been to this club and if you had the same problems, if you had similar problems to the ones that she had. Because in that comment section of this video, that's all I'm hearing is that me too. Me too. Me too. Like everybody has been to that club and had the same experience. My thing is, why is this club still open? Let me know in the comment section what you think about the situation. If you ever been to this club, and this statement is 100% accurate. I'm not saying that she's a liar, but you know, it's the media. We got to make sure. But I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. So let me know in the comment section. If you want to follow her, I will have her name in my description so you can follow her on her platform where she's the most active. All right. Peace.